There's a few news stories over the weekend that I wanted to touch on. First, there was a segment on 60 Minutes about work to own and employee stock ownership for companies and how this could potentially reduce wealth inequality and a good way to align incentives between employee and employer. The segment was about this KKR private equity executive, Pete Stavros, issuing this policy for a garage door opening company in the Midwest. And by doing that, the employees were able to speak out more about possible ideas for efficiency for the company, which helped productivity for the company. And these employees were ultimately able to receive pretty large payouts upon the sale of the company, ranging from $40,000 for employees that just started with the company in the past year to 6.5 times annual salary, or about $500,000, which is life-changing amounts of money. This is huge because, yes, if more businesses adopt giving employees stock options, businesses could do better, and this could also reduce wealth inequality around the world. It's not a solution, obviously. I mean, it's not a cure, but it's certainly a strong solution, in my opinion. This combined, obviously, with financial education in schools, if that's taught a little bit more, because I think it's a very important school, personal finance and investing, a little bit about economics, and also economic history. If those things are taught in school, then combined with employee stock options and workers owning a piece of their company, I think wealth inequality it'll be a step in the right direction in terms of reducing wealth inequality. When you at these small tech companies, you have employees getting stock options at their tech companies, and upon the sale of those companies, those employees do very well. So if other companies besides tech embrace it, I think that'll be a very good idea. If other businesses embrace that idea, obviously we have to see. And then I also want to touch on Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway meeting this weekend. The biggest takeaways: Warren Buffett has a $189 billion cash position. This makes it seem like he doesn't really see particularly very attractive investment opportunities right now. Maybe he thinks the stock market's a little bit overvalued. He reduced his Apple position by 13%. But the main reason I think he did that was because Apple stock got pretty concentrated and overvalued in his portfolio. And I think he's raising money right now for tax reasons. So that's really why I think he sold a little bit of his Apple position. Another takeaway from the Berkshire Hathaway meeting is that he was talking about AI and the potential dangers of it, comparing it to nuclear weapons. His biggest thing was that he's worried about deep fakes and scammers using AI. That's a big concern in my opinion, and he's not wrong. The best way to handle that, in my opinion, is to authenticate videos, perhaps on the blockchain. I'm sure companies will really work on that, but I think authenticating videos and articles is the best way to handle misinformation, but that doesn't mean that AI and artificial intelligence and the productivity gains from that won't be a good technology. He was also talking about India being potentially a good investment opportunity in the future for Berkshire. He was also talking about general life advice that it's important to be kind and to really value your personal relationships. If you want, it's important. Basically, the last person you want to see for your last day of Earth, you should put an effort to be with them early on so that you maintain those friendships and relationships, whether that's a spouse, a loved one, relative, sibling, or whatever. He really values those personal relationships, and that was pretty moving. He was talking about a tribute to Charlie Munger, his partner that passed away, which was pretty sad. And then lastly, going back to AI and Warren Buffett's warning about scammers, my recommendation of authenticating these videos and articles on the blockchain, speaking about the blockchain, there was a Bitcoin versus gold debate over the weekend that was very educational, in my opinion. It was posted, obviously, on X, formerly known as Twitter, and there's a video on it on YouTube by Crypto Banter. It's a 2-hour-long video. I listened to it about twice the speed to get through it a little quicker. But it was with Anthony Scaramucci and Alex Voorhees on the Bitcoin side, and then Peter Schiff and Noel Rabini on the gold side. All sides had really good arguments. There's no reason, though, in my opinion, why gold and Bitcoin can't coexist. They're here to solve the same problem of debasement of fiat currencies and excessive money printing as a hedge against inflation. Gold's been around obviously for thousands of years, and Bitcoin's new to the scene, but Bitcoin's having a huge network effect by the rapid growth of wallet users. Right now, we're about 300 million wallet users, and we should have maybe a couple billion by 2030. So that rapid growth of users is similar to Metcalfe's law. Metcalfe's law is about the growth of the network. We saw that with the internet, the growth of the internet's network, and how useful internet became as a general purpose technology and utility. And I think Bitcoin can do the same. With Bitcoin, you could literally send someone a few $100s from the US to Europe or Africa within a few minutes. That same can't be said sending money from the US to Europe or Africa or another continent using the traditional financial system with SWIFT. It could take a few business days, 3 to 5 business days, for a transfer of money internationally, especially with all the different financial intermediaries and third parties. So that's a little bit, that takes a little bit too long, and Bitcoin sending money pretty much instantaneously is a huge advantage that Bitcoin has. Bitcoin's digital gold. It's pretty much programmable monetary policy. 21 million Bitcoin in circulation that can't be altered. There's no single point of failure. It's decentralized, and that's pretty appealing. Gold has many of those characteristics, but Bitcoin being digital gold, in my opinion, I think is pretty compelling. And those were pretty much the most important news stories of this weekend, in my opinion.